Most men think they're confused about women. They're not. They're confused about the signals. You've been there. You meet a woman you genuinely like. The conversation flows. There's chemistry. She laughs at your jokes. She texts you first sometimes. But then suddenly she pulls back. Replies get shorter. Energy shifts. And now you're stuck in your head wondering, was she ever attracted to me at all? Here's the painful truth. Most men miss the signs when a woman wants intimacy, and they also miss the signs when they're slowly turning her off. And the reason is simple. You were never taught the difference between pursuing and proving. Today, I'm going to reveal 3 clear signs a woman wants intimacy with you. Not attention, not validation, not free dinners. Real intimacy. And if you understand what I'm about to explain, you'll stop chasing and start recognizing when she's actually leaning toward you. Because the biggest mistake men make isn't failing to attract women. It's suffocating attraction that's already there. Let's start with the real problem. Most men believe attraction grows when you give more. More compliments. More availability. More texting. More reassurance. You think if you just show her how much you care, she'll finally feel safe enough to open up. But that's not how female psychology works. The more you chase, the more she feels pressured. The more you try to prove yourself, the more she subconsciously questions your value. And this is why nice guys finish last. Not because being kind is wrong, but because many nice guys confuse kindness with self-sacrifice. They overinvest early. They make her the center of their world before she's earned that position. And when a man places a woman on a pedestal, she doesn't feel special. She feels responsible. And responsibility kills romance. Chasing repels women because attraction is built on emotional tension, curiosity, and uncertainty. When you chase too hard, you remove all 3. There's no mystery, no challenge, no polarity. She already knows you're sold. Biologically, women are wired to assess strength, stability, and emotional control. When a man overpursues, double texts, constantly checks in, or rearranges his entire schedule for her, it signals scarcity. It signals that she is the prize and you are trying to win approval. And women are wired to chase what feels scarce. Attention is currency. And most men spend it recklessly. Every like, every immediate reply, every paragraph text explaining your feelings. You think you're building connection. But if she hasn't earned that level of investment, you're lowering your perceived value. Intimacy doesn't grow from pressure. It grows from space. Now, let's talk about the first clear sign she wants intimacy with you. She creates proximity. Not just physical proximity. Emotional proximity. If a woman wants intimacy, she will find ways to be close to you. She'll sit next to you even when other seats are available.
She'll lean in when you speak.
She'll find subtle excuses to touch your arm. She'll hold eye contact just a second longer than necessary. And emotionally, she'll start sharing deeper parts of herself. Not surface-level facts. Real stories. Past relationships. Insecurities. Childhood memories. When she begins lowering her guard voluntarily, that's not random. That's investment. But here's where men mess it up. The moment she leans in, they panic and overdo it. They try to escalate too aggressively or start acting overly romantic. And she pulls back because the pace suddenly feels forced. When she creates proximity, your job is simple. Match her energy. Don't exceed it. If she leans in slightly, lean in slightly. If she shares something personal, acknowledge it without turning it into a therapy session. Calm confidence amplifies attraction. Overreaction destroys it. The second clear sign she wants intimacy is this. She tests your emotional stability. Yes, tests. She might tease you, playfully challenge you, delay responding to see how you react, cancel once to observe if you become needy or bitter. Most men interpret this as rejection. It's not. It's assessment. Women are biologically wired to look for emotional strength. If intimacy happens, she needs to know you won't crumble under pressure. So she pokes at your frame a little. If you become reactive, defensive, jealous, or overly accommodating, you fail the test. But if you stay grounded, relaxed, and unbothered, attraction grows. For example, she says, you're probably talking to other girls. The insecure man rushes to prove loyalty. He overexplains. He reassures excessively. The grounded man smiles and says, "You sound a little curious." He doesn't defend. He doesn't attack. He stays centered. Intimacy requires safety. And safety doesn't come from constant reassurance. It comes from emotional stability. The third clear sign she wants intimacy with you is when she begins investing. She initiates contact. She asks about your day. She remembers small details. She adjusts her schedule to see you. She engages in playful back and forth. She keeps conversations alive instead of giving dry responses. Investment is everything. If she's putting in effort, attraction is present. But here's the critical part. The moment you sense her investing, do not flip into proving mode. This is the difference between pursuing and proving. Pursuing is expressing interest while maintaining self-respect. Proving is trying to convince her you're worthy. When she invests, you don't increase intensity dramatically. You maintain your life, your purpose, your routine. You let her step toward you. Because intimacy feels powerful when it's mutual. Let's make this real with texting. If she takes 4 hours to reply and you instantly respond every time, you're overinvesting. If she sends short replies and you send paragraphs, you're chasing. But if she mirrors your energy, asks questions, adds emojis, and re-engages when the conversation slows down, that's investment. Your role is to keep it light, confident, and slightly unpredictable. Scarcity builds curiosity. Now, let's talk about what to do when she pulls away. Pulling away doesn't always mean she lost interest. Sometimes she's recalibrating. Sometimes she's testing your independence. Sometimes she's overwhelmed. The worst thing you can do is panic. Do not double text. Do not demand explanations. Do not write emotional essays. Lean back. Return focus to your life. If attraction was real, she will re-engage. And if she doesn't, that tells you everything you need to know. High-value men don't chase clarity. They observe behavior. Another powerful indicator she wants intimacy is when she becomes slightly nervous around you. She fixes her hair, adjusts her clothes, laughs a little louder, maintains eye contact but looks away shyly. These are subconscious signals. Desire often shows up physically before it's spoken verbally. But again, your response determines everything. If you act arrogant, you kill it. If you become overly sexual too fast, you kill it. If you pretend not to notice and act cold, you kill it. Confidence is relaxed awareness. You notice. You smile. You stay grounded. Now, let's address common mistakes. Men hear advice like this and think they need to become distant or manipulative.
Wrong.
Playing games backfires because it's rooted in insecurity. Acting cold to force her to chase creates emotional instability, not attraction. Pretending to be busy when you're not feels fake. Be genuinely busy. Build a life that doesn't revolve around her. Become the prize by having standards, boundaries, and purpose. Not by pretending you don't care. There's a huge difference between indifference and non-neediness. Indifference says, "I don't care if you're here." Non-neediness says, "I like you, but I don't need you." That energy is magnetic. Because when a woman feels chosen instead of needed, intimacy feels exciting instead of pressured. Here's how you apply this starting today. First, audit your attention. Stop giving unlimited access. If she hasn't invested, reduce your output. Match her effort. Second, strengthen your frame. Go to the gym. Focus on career. Develop hobbies. Not to impress her. To build genuine self-worth. Third, practice emotional control. When she teases, stay playful. When she delays, stay calm. When she invests, reward it lightly, but don't escalate aggressively. Fourth, watch for reciprocity. Intimacy is mutual energy. If you're always initiating, planning, and pushing things forward, step back. Let her reveal her interest. And when you see these 3 signs clearly, proximity, testing, and investment, you don't need to guess. You'll feel the shift. You'll notice she's asking more personal questions, sitting closer, finding reasons to extend the date, texting good morning without prompting, suggesting future plans. That's not accidental. That's desire moving toward intimacy. Remember, attraction isn't built by convincing someone. It's built by being someone. When you stop proving and start embodying confidence, women feel it. When you stop chasing and start choosing, dynamics shift. Nice guys finish last because they give everything before earning anything. They confuse generosity with value. They try to buy attraction with effort. But attraction responds to strength, mystery, and emotional steadiness. Chasing repels because it signals fear of loss. Calm confidence attracts because it signals abundance. So the next time you're unsure whether she wants intimacy, don't look at her words first. Look at her behavior. Is she closing the distance? Is she testing your frame? Is she investing her time and energy? If the answer is yes, relax. You don't need to force anything. Let tension build naturally. Lead calmly. Escalate gradually. Stay centered. And if she pulls back, don't collapse. Lean back with dignity. Because the man who isn't afraid to lose is the man women are afraid to lose. You don't need manipulation. You don't need tricks. You need self-respect, emotional discipline, and awareness. Once you internalize this, dating becomes simple. You stop chasing signals and start recognizing them. You stop overthinking texts and start observing patterns. You stop trying to be chosen and start doing the choosing. That's power. And when you operate from that place, intimacy doesn't feel like something you're begging for. It feels like something you're allowing. 3 signs.
Proximity. Testing.
Investment. Understand them. Respect them. Respond with calm strength. And watch how everything changes. If this opened your eyes even a little, start applying it today. Not tomorrow.
Today.
Because the man who understands attraction controls his destiny in dating. And the man who controls his emotions controls the room.